Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Guys, what are the little things that are simple that we can control and do to make our tennis better? Stay tuned. All right, guys, so I got Coach Rob with me. Coach Rob likes to keep things simple and to make it simple for his students. Now, I'm sure he tells his students to, the basic things like eye on the ball, like he tells me all the time. So I stopped looking at...
I don't use eye on the ball as much because I try to use more like, for you, don't look up.
Yeah.
Right? But everybody knows watch the ball.
Right.
Right? Because if you don't watch the ball and you just stand there and the ball goes behind you and you didn't move, okay, yes, you didn't watch the ball.
Right.
But if you can think about watching the ball from your opponent, off their racket, if you can see the blur when you swing, I always had a hard time saying, see it hit your racket. I'm like, well, I couldn't always see that, but I could kind of see the blur of the racket going through. Or you could do bounce hit, see it hit the ground, bounce, and then try to hit, say hit when you hit it. Those are things you can do to help watch the ball. So instead of saying watch the ball, that just gets old.
Okay.
At least for me.
I get it. Or head down is another one that a lot of the coaches say.
Yeah, especially if you like to keep your head up, Harry.
Okay, so here's one tip that nobody ever says anything, is follow the ball. So let's say you saw the ball come into your racket, right? And then you see it hopefully leave your racket. And
you
then
see that blur.
And then you track the ball going, and then you move towards the angle or towards the middle of the court by going one step to the left or the right. And then you're tracking your own ball or your strike going back to the other side, and then tracking it as it gets struck by, preparing for the next shot.
So as we were just saying, bounce hit, when we say that on our own side, you have to then say it on their side. So you say it out loud for the other person you're hitting with. So if I'm hitting it to you, when my shot bounces on your side, I'm going to say bounce. And when I see you hit it, I'm going to say hit.
Right.
So that I'm aware of what's going on your side of the net.
Right. And then what happens when it's coming back to you?
So then when it's coming back to me, you would say bounce when it bounces on my side, and you would say hit when I hit it.
Right.
So that way you are watching what's going on when I'm doing it.
Perfect. So you're now tracking the ball is important. I see a lot of people like doing all this, right? And so they're hitting the ball with their eyes either up or out or somewhere else, and then kind of refocusing back to the ball, and then kind of moving towards hopefully the middle of the court somewhere, and then re-finding it back. Okay? So we just told you, track the ball back and forth.
And you should also know where you're hitting it. So ahead of time, I know I'm hitting it. I got one of three choices: cross court, down the middle, or down the line.
Right.
So hopefully I know ahead of time which one of those I'm aiming at, so that I kind of know where the ball's going. So I'm not trying to hit and look over there, because now you tend to shank it, miss hit it, or other bad things happen then.
But keeping it simple again, though, for you guys who don't know, if it gets struck cross court to you, I usually go back cross court if I can.
Because you're hitting over the low part of the net.
Correct.
And if the court is longer on the diagonal, then straight ahead.
Right. So if it comes to my forehand, there's most likely I'm going to go hit it back to your forehand, so I'm going cross court. Same thing with the backhand. The only time I would go down the line is if I'm late or if I'm
hitting a passing shot.
Do that, with a passing shot.
Or I'm trying to change direction.
Right. So just remember, if it goes cross court, go back cross court. Okay? Keep it simple. All right. The next thing is preparation. Right. So,
and that goes with what we were just talking about of seeing the ball coming from your opponent. You're preparing as they're hitting. You're on your toes and trying to read what is coming. Is it a forehand? Is it a backhand? Is it coming high? Is it coming low? Is it coming fast? Is it coming slow? Do I have to move back? Do I have to move up? All of those things you're trying to do to help yourself prepare to hit the ball in your strike zone.
So for you teaching your kids, do you rack it back and then move, or move, rack it back at the same time? Or
So a little bit of it is depending on the level of the student, right? If they're just very little, you can just turn and then toss it to the side. So they have to, okay, this is a wide ball, so they learn to run with the racket back. If it's a short ball, okay, same thing. So they kind of are learning those things. And then as they start rallying and you can see how they run to the ball and then try to get ready, you're like, hey, try to run with your racket back. Helps them prepare, whether you're making, the unit turn in a loop or whether your unit turn and just straight back, forehand or backhand. I like to run with the racket back.
Got it.
Especially as the game gets faster.
Right. Perfect. So yeah, not only are you tracking the ball back and forth, you're going to be running with the racket back there. Okay.
And it can be a loop where you're running and the loop's still moving. You want to keep the racket moving so you have that fluid of a stroke.
Got it. Like
and
a
there
modern.
again, it depends on what your level you're, working with age or whatever. But
yeah. So Coach Rob is talking about a modern stroke where you're moving it, building momentum as right before you strike it. All right. Keeping it simple again. The one thing that most people have the most control over that they can't control is the toss.
Correct. Yes.
Now, why is that?
So to me, the big thing is if I'm a right-hander, that means I'm dominantly right-handed. Hence, my left hand is now being put in a situation where I have to do something precise and repeat it, right? So I usually try to have it where my toss is coming up over my left toe into a straight line. So if I can try to get that toss to go in that line, it gives myself a much better chance to put a good swing on it going towards the box, right? And nobody wants to hold up the game. So a lot of times people throw it a little bit to the side. They're going to hit it anyhow, even though they don't give themselves the best chance to make it.
Right.
It could be over their head too far.
Oh.
It could be too far in front. It could be too low. Not rarely do you see too high, but it could be all over the place. So a lot of times just don't swing. You control it. If you have a bad toss, whoop, sorry, and then go through your routine again, whatever it is, right? Boom, boom, and then off you go.
But what if you got the yips? Like every toss is like, ooh, or ooh.
Okay,
or,
so you have to go practice a little bit. So go up against the fence, right? You can stand here and just use the fence and just see if, okay, I'm going to toss it up towards the top of the windscreen or whatever your landmark is that you're using. And then you can even trap it on the fence, right? As a way of practicing.
We've done that once, yes. Okay.
And that way you're consistently trying to put it. A lot of times it's challenging because there's no marking up there. Hey, I have to throw it. What are you going to do? Throw it at a certain cloud? Like, that's not going to work.
Right.
So you're trying to visualize something straight, whether it be like a ball tube or the fence post or whatever you can do to continually line your toss up in the right spot.
Got it. That leads us to the last part, footwork.
Yep.
So we're tracking the ball. Are
you on your toes or are you flat-footed?
Probably like flat-footed.
That's not good.
unless I'm on my game and got that off-field gummy in me.
Okay, if that's what you need to get on your toes.
Now, so here's the thing. I just tracked the ball. I just struck it. Right. I'm on my toes and I'm heading like womb back to center. Okay. And I'm waiting for it to come back. And
hopefully you're still on your toes while you're waiting for the ball to be returned.
Right. Now, am I in neutral, like linebacker, like preparing for the next one to push off one side to the next?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that helps. So being on your toes. So usually you slide back, and maybe you have to bounce a little bit. If you hit a slow, loopy ball, you have to bounce a little bit. You don't want to get flat-footed because then you can't be quick going in any direction.
Right. Right. We all get into the bad habit of being flat-footed, though. I mean, I see so many players, literally, not you, but I'm just saying, like just people. They hit the ball and they're just like stand here, like waiting. How do we train our brains to not do that?
So a little bit of it is we can be fast where we kind of learn to just run to the ball and then kind of run back, and we run to the next shot and we run back to the middle. So you're sort of wanting to kind of learn how to hit and then just float back. So then you can change direction. As soon as you cross your feet, you're starting to run back, then all of a sudden they're going to hit behind you,
Right.
right? You can have an explosive, you can have an explosive cross and then recover, but most of the time you want to keep floating and,
So keep the movement going.
right. Don't stop.
That's going to take a lot of energy, though, isn't it, Coach?
Tennis is a game of, you got to have energy and endurance and footwork.
Guys, build up your endurance, build up your energy, get to that gym. All right, so Coach Rob, thank you for teaching us, how to keep it simple and how the little things. I mean, tennis is about a lot of little, I don't want to say easy because anybody can make it sound easy, because when that ball comes, as I tell people just panic, It's easy to watch it on TV and think it's like Pong, like, but when that ball's coming at you, no matter how fast it is, your brain just, goes on survival mode. And it's like, whatever I need to do to get this ball back, I'm going to do, whether it's hit it like this or like this or anything. So like I said, it's not easy.
Nope.
And I get
time.
it.
It takes time to get good at it. That's a lot of people nowadays want everything right away. Everything wants it on your phone. I can order it. I can do it right now. Tennis takes work to get the muscle memory, the footwork, understand the game, and don't be in a hurry to enjoy tennis. Just let it happen.
Exactly. Get the basics right. Get the simple things right. Okay? Do the little things that help your tennis out. Coach Rob, thank you so much for showing us the way and keeping it simple.
Sure.
Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.
Oh, this could be it, Harry. Oh, Harry, great contact. Now, the idea, Harry, is we need it to land in the blue. I know you're kind of starting out here. Let's try it again, Harry. Somewhere in the blue space on the other side of the net. Harry, that's a great shot. I think you even hit it on the blue on court 3, Harry. It's okay. I didn't really specifically say our court. I just said blue. So job well done. Let's try again. Keep it in our space on our court. There says number 1. Here we go, Harry. Give it a shot. Oh, Harry. No, I didn't say hit the number 1.
Want a coach with positive energy like Coach Rob? Find what your game is looking for at playyourcourt.com.
Oh, Harry, you swung and missed. I bet you can watch the ball a little longer. Try to keep your head still. Oh, Harry, nice try.